not only about facts, but rather problems in another perspective. Are clear enough for people? What is enough?
Enough is clear enough.
Like for example, when you're a kid and you're like, Mom, please buy me something, and your mom saying no, and then you keep going, no, please buy it for me, and you say, enough. It means enough.
Okay.
Stop it. I don't want it anymore. Okay? Or for example, do you want more water? No, I don't want. It's enough. It means what you have already is good for me. I don't need more.
Okay.
I don't need more. Yeah. Deriving from the Latin litera. What is Latin?
Latin is a language.
Yeah, it's a dead language. Deriving from the Latin litera, a letter of the alphabet. Literature is first and foremost humankind's entire body of writing. This is difficult. Here we go. One more time. Deriving from the Latin litera, a letter of the alphabet. Literature
is first and foremost humankind's entire body of writing.
What is foremost?
Foremost, I don't know.
What comes first?
First.
In first place. In first place. So for example, domestic violence is about family fight.
Yes.
This is the foremost meaning, the foremost idea.
The foremost idea.
Definition, the foremost definition of domestic violence. Okay?
Okay.
I mean, when you think of domestic violence, the first thing that comes to your mind is fight. Right?
Yes.
So this is the first, the foremost, the first, the most important.
Okay.
Meaning.
So it has the same meaning to the major.
To the what?
So the foremost is same to a major.
Yeah, to major. In this case. But it also means first.
Okay.
First. Okay. Literature is first and foremost humankind's entire body of writing. What is entire body?
Entire.
What is your entire body? Your entire body. From head to toe.
So it means
everything.
Everything. Okay.
Entire body of writing. It means everything that is written. Even this is literature. From this, we have two definitions, two critics. The first one is this one.
Yes.
That is not about mere facts. The second one now, it says, in first and foremost, humankind's entire body of writing, which is everything that is written. Newspapers, magazines, and this dictionary, what you wrote in your notebook to your girlfriend yesterday, I don't know. That's literature as well, from this definition. Okay? After that, it is the body of writing belonging to a given language or people. Then it is individual pieces of writing. What does it mean?
What does it is the body of writing.
Yeah.
Oh, it means language or to given language belonging to given language of. Oh, what is this paragraph means? It means okay, I can clearly understand what it
You can or you can't?
can't.
Okay. I help you. A letter of the alphabet. Literature is first and foremost humankind's entire body of writing. So the entire body of writings means all of what is written,
Yes.
right? Everything. This is the main definition. Okay, everything that is written is literature. After that, then it means then. This after that means then. It is the body of writing belonging. What is to belong?
Belongs means something is. If this pen is mine, so I can say this pen belongs to me.
Yes. So we have first all writings, everything, newspapers, novels, magazines, everything.
Yes.
Your girlfriend's letter, I don't know. And then she says, after that, it is the body of writing belonging to a given language. So you can talk about, okay, this is everything, right? Now you can say, oh, Taiwan literature.
Okay.
Oh, Spain's literature.
Okay.
You start taking pieces.
Mm.
Then, after that, it is the body of writing belonging to a given language or people.
Mm.
Okay? Then it is individual pieces of writing. It means that you can further cut these things. In Taiwan, you have novels, you have newspapers, you have love letters, perhaps I don't know, everything, okay? So that's what he means. We read one more time. Deriving from the Latin litera. Can you please read?
Deriving from the Latin litera, a letter of the alphabet. Literature is first and foremost humankind's entire body of writing. After that, it is the body of writing belonging to a given language or people. Then it is individual pieces of writing.
Okay, I have a question. What is the body of writing of Taiwanese people?
The body of writings of Taiwanese people, maybe the novels.
Everything, the body,
It's the whole, everything about Taiwan.
everything written in Taiwan. Okay. Everything that has been written in Taiwan. This body of writing is very, do you know the word fancy?
Yes.
Fancy. F-A-N-C. F1. No, it's not in the text.
No.
You know this word? Fancy.
I have heard it, but I forget what
Fancy means, for example, I can wear this simple jacket, or I can wear a very expensive, beautiful jacket. This beautiful jacket is very fancy.
Okay.
Or you can go to a simple restaurant, or you can go to a very elegant with fine glass, and that is fancy. So these are fancy words. This body of writing is a fancy word. Because they like to write very complicated. So that's why they write like this. Okay, body of writing. It means a body means something, right?
Yes.
This is a body also. It's continuous, right?
Mm.
So a body of writing it means a compound, a group of written things. That's what I mean by body.
Okay.
Yeah, a group. Body of writing. So everything, there's a group of everything in Taiwan. You have a group of Taiwanese novels, you have a group of Taiwanese love letters, you have a group of newspapers,
Yes.
and you take all these together, and that is called the body of writings of Taiwanese people.
Yes.
And you take then the body from China, the body from Egypt, and the body from Spain, and everything, and it makes a huge body, which is the body of writings of humankind. Okay. That's what I mean by body of writing. You can also say body of knowledge.
Yes.
What is a body of knowledge?
Body of the knowledge. Maybe every knowledge.
Yeah, every knowledge somewhere. For example, the body of knowledge in science. It's all we know in science. Everything. Okay? Or you can say Taiwanese body of knowledge. Is everything that Taiwanese know. Okay? Everything that Taiwanese knows is called the body of knowledge. Taiwanese body of knowledge. Okay, so let's read one more time, please. Definitions of the word.
The definitions of the word literature tend to be circular. The 11th editions of Merriam-Webster Collegiate Dictionary considers literature to be writing having excellence of form or impression and impressing
Expression. Expression.
expression and expressing ideas of permanent or universal interest. The 19th century critic Walter Pater referred to the matter of imaginative or artistic literature as a transcript not of mere fact, but of fact in its infinitely varied forms. But such definition assumes that the reader already knows what literature is, and indeed its central meanings, at least, is clear enough. Deriving from the Latin litera, a letter of the alphabet. Literature is first and foremost humankind's entire body of writing. After that, it is the body of writing belonging to a given language or people. Then it is individual pieces of writing.
Okay, any question? If you don't understand, please let me know.
No.
Everything is clear?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, now we go to the second part. The scope of literature. What is the scope?
Let's go.
You have police,
Yes.
right? And police, there are many kinds of policemen, right?
Yes.
What about, transit police? Transit
Transit.
police.
Oh, it
It is the guys, yeah.
transit police. Is TRAN. Transit. Okay, I don't know. I think you will spell TRANSITPOLICE.
Let's talk about, when you're driving a scooter and you don't respect the traffic light.
Also, this transit person will stop you.
Yes. So, but he can only stop you if you're driving.
And he will give you a fine.
A ticket, yeah. But what happens if you're killing someone?
Okay,
No, let's do this. For example, if you're fighting with your wife in the street, he will not do anything. Because he's a transit police. He cares about cars and motorcycles. He doesn't care about family things.
Yes.
So they have the scope of what they can do. So transit police, the scope is cars, drivers, I don't know, right? And perhaps there is a family police supposed, and they can only care about family. This is the scope of what they can do. Fun way,
Yes.
okay, of what they can do. So that's what is this scope of literature. So the scope of literature means
The kinds of
literature, yeah. And what is literature?
literature.
Okay, what is literature and what is the kinds and limits
Yes.
of these literatures? Okay, literature is a form of human expression, but not everything expressed in words, even when organized and written down, is counted as literature. One more time.
Literature is a form of human expression, but not everything is expressed in words. Even when organized and writing down is counted as literature.
Okay, so what is this human expression?
Human expression.
What are human expression?
The things that human express.
For example,
We
can write. I can write and say I
Yes,
hate
but-
you, for example, or I love you, or I want to go to the restaurant. I don't know. Another way of expressing.
Store speech.
Speaking, yeah,
Yes.
speaking. Another way.
Store speech.
Something I'm doing now. What else do you can use to express?
Use computer to key some key
To
to
what?
type some word on Facebook to
That is written.
list.
That is written
So
expression.
expression,
So you can talk, you can write. What else can you do?
body language.
Body language, very good. Yes, you can dance. You can express angriness. You can fight.
Yes.
Whatever you want. Okay. Yeah, those are human expressions. So literature is a form of human expression, but not everything expressed in words, even when organized and written down, is counted as literature. What does it mean? This is another definition.
It means something doesn't be expressed, but we can realize it by the words the writer writes.
Hmm?
By the word which are written by the writers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, for example, love letters. I have love letters literature.
Mm.
Do you think so? And according to this definition, it says not everything. What is not everything?
Not everything. Not everything means not everything. It doesn't
Okay, what is everything?
everything. All.
All, right? And not everything means
Everything.
not all.
Also, not everything is no. Yes. No. All.
Expressed in words. It means that, for example, is this literature?
Yes.
From this definition.
Eh?
From this definition.
Is this the literature?
I mean, these writings. I'm writing. Is
I
this
think
literature?
it's not.
Okay? So if this is written, but it's not literature.
Mm.
So not everything that is written is literature.
Yes.
Now I have a question. This comes from a dictionary. This thing comes from a dictionary. Okay. So is this literature? Yes or no? In your own opinion. In your own opinion.
Is the literature?
This thing is this literature?
I think it's all about the fact, so I think it's not.
So you think it's not?
Yes.
In your opinion.
Mm.
Okay. So here we are. Okay, it's counted as literature. Those writings that are primarily informative, technical, scholarly, journalistic will be excluded from the rank of literature by most, though not all critics. Okay, we go slowly. Those writings, what writings?
Lost writing. The things we write.
Okay, let me show you. Those writings that are primarily informative.
Informative.
What is to informative? Like for example, it says technical, scholarly, journalistic. What is journalistic?
Journalistic. It's maybe about the travel or
No, it's not about journey. Journalistic means journalism. Journalist. The newspapers.
Oh,
The newspapers.
the newspaper is the kind of journalist.
Journalistic writing.
Okay.
Okay? Because they talk about facts. This informative means that they talk about facts also. For example, I inform you that we will not have class tomorrow. This is a fact. I informed the public about. You want to inform the public about the problem of domestic violence. So it is to inform, informative, that it tells a fact or tells something, usually a fact in general. Okay? So those writings that are primarily informative. So those writings means
Those writings.
refers to
Means the technical scholarly.
journalistic.
Yes.
So this primarily informative, okay?
Mm.
Those writings that are primarily informative. When you have these two things, it means an example.
What?
This means example.
Example. Oh.
It's the same as this.
Mm.
Okay?
Mm.
So you can say those writings that are primarily informative will be excluded from the rank of literature by most, though not all critics. You can omit. You can erase this thing in the middle. Okay? It's just an example.
Okay.
Those things. That
May I ask a question? What is the meaning of excluded?
excluded. For example, I say we play a game. I play, you play. We exclude her.
What?
She doesn't play.
Mm.
What does it mean?
So she's be
She's being excluded. To
uh,
exclude somebody. To exclude.
in Chinese mean 排除是吧？
I don't know how to say in Chinese.
okay.
You get just leave it out.
Oh, let it out.
Let it out.
Okay.
Yeah. Leave it out. Okay. Those writings that are primarily informative would be excluded from the rank of literature by most. What is a rank?
Right. It's maybe the type of
Yeah. Hierarchy. Like police. You have transit police, and then you have here there is a boss, and the boss of the boss.
yes.
So this rank is higher and higher and higher ranks.
Yes.
So we think literature is higher than a love letter. Okay?
Right.
Yes. So the ranks of literature by most, though not all, critics. What is this though about? Though. But, beauty.
And so it means but.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a fancy word.
Mm.
So, those writings thus are primarily informative, technically, scholarly, journalistic. What is technical?
Technical.
Like, for example,
It's something about a technique.
what technique?
Technique. What technique?
Okay, I'll give you an example. When you buy an AC, an air conditioning, or a new computer, there's a little book inside.
Yes.
What is this book about?
About the things that it can do, or
Yeah.
how to operate the things.
Yes, this is a technical thing.
Yes.
This is technical. Or for example, there is a book that tells you how to fix a car, how to change something, how to change a lamp, for example. This is technical.
Okay.
It's about technique. Okay.
Okay.
What about a scholarly?
Scholarly. I know what's a scholar, but I don't know what's scholarly.
It means that belongs to the scholars.
Well,
For example, we have university, undergrad, master, and PhD. You know what is a PhD?
Professor.
Yeah, like professor. When you're studying PhD, you have to write things.
Yes. Oh, so it is the
Scholars.
okay.
Yeah. Scholars writing, okay? Or the scholars write. So journalistic is just newspapers, magazines, and this kind of stuff. Will be excluded from the rest of literature by most, though not all, but not all, critics. So we have an example here. This Walter Prater, he thinks that newspapers are not art, that they are not literature, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then we have this definition down here that says that everything is literature.
The down says everything is.
No, here.
Oh,
We read that everything is literature,
yes.
right? So that's what it's saying. Those writings that are primarily informative, technical, scholarly, journalistic will be excluded from the rank of literature by most, though not all critics.
Yes.
It means that some critics think that everything is literature. Other critics think that these things, that informative writings are not literature. Others think they are.
Yes.
Okay? That's what it's saying. Certain forms of writing, however, are universally regarded as belonging to literature as an art. Please, one more time. Certain
Certain forms of writing, however, are universally regarded as belonging to literature as an art.
Do you understand this? What is this certain?
It means a kind of.
Yeah, some. Yeah, a kind of form or some forms. of writing, however,
are universally regarded.
what is to regard something? To regard something as, that is the form, okay? To regard something as. To regard something, okay, whatever, as.
To regard something as.
Do you know people, they like to classify people as high and low?
What?
For example, your brother is higher or lower?
Is lower than me.
So you regard your brother as lower.
Regard. So regard means
Treat.
treat. Oh, treat.
Yeah. You regard somebody, or you regard something as. You treat something as. Or you think something is like that. Okay? Those writings, okay, blah blah blah, would be excluded. Certain forms of writing, however, are universally regarded, treated as belonging to literature as an art. Okay? It just tell you that something, I don't know what this something is, let's see what it is. Individual attempts within these forms are said to succeed if they possess something called artistic merit, and to fail if they do not. Please, one more time. Individual
attempts within these forms are said to succeed if they possess something called artistic merit, and to fail if they do not.
Okay, this is complicated. Here we go. What are these individual attempts? What is an attempt?
Attempt.
What is an attempt? It is a noun.
I know it's but
For example, I want to touch the lamp. One try. This is an attempt. Second try. These tries are attempts.
Attempts. So attempts means try.
Try.
Okay.
To attempt something is also a verb. Okay? To try something, to attempt. Alright, what is this individual attempt?
Individual attempts.
Suppose you try to write a poem.
What?
You write a poem.
Right. Yes.
This is an attempt. You are writing something. So this is an attempt.
Yes.
So it means individual attempts. Each thing that is written, each love letter, each poem, each book, each novel. Okay. Individual attempts. We think. What is we think?
We think.
It means inside.
Yes.
Inside something. Okay? In Chinese, you will say 什么什么东西在什么范围里面. It is within this scope. Within, inside this scope. Okay? Okay. So the word that individual attempts within these forms are said to succeed. What is to succeed?
Succeed. Successful.
Yeah. What about these forms? What are these forms?
These forms.
What forms?